Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Karen J. Quarles back with another video, you guys. So, today we're talking about the fact that you are almost there. And I know many of you may be feeling this in your spirit. You feel like you are on the brink of the next big breakthrough of your life. And it is true. You are almost there. And normally, what you would think about this type of message, it will be something that somebody will be speaking about on like December 29th, 30th, like literally leading it into the new year. But I'm saying it right now because for many of us, what we are waiting for is actually going to happen before the year of 2024. 2023 still has great possibilities and promises for many of us that we have waited all year. And God is a God of the last minute miracles as well. And it's not last minute for him, it's his divinely orchestrated timing that just so happened to fall at the end of the year. But God still, excuse me, God is still keeping his promises from January until now or whenever he has spoken to you what he said he was going to do. So I wanted to come on to remind you that you are almost there. And I know that being on the brink of a thing is often one of the most uncomfortable places to be in the world because it's the elusive place of almost but not yet. And it's like you're in between those two spaces, and I think of it as like the start, the middle, and the arrival. And each of them are sections that represent a particular kind of like heart posture or positioning for us. Like one is the awakening to the possibility, right? Where God issues you this promise. He tells you that something is coming. And then you're in the stretching of your faith because now you have to believe for it. And faith has to be the vehicle to help you to get to the end of what he told you that you would see after you went through your processing. And then you get to the part that represents your reward. So many of us are in the middle place where God has been stretching our faith and causing us to trust him like never before. But in this space, I just want to remind you that it's not about you getting the thing or getting the stuff that God promised you on the other side of it. I think that's the thing that sometimes people can get hung up on, and we lose intimacy in time with God worrying about a promise that is already a surefire thing that he has given to us if we stay in obedience to his will, right? So if we know the thing that God said is coming, because God is not a man that he should lie, if we know that, then it means that in that in between place, when we are stretching our own faith, where God is processing us and teaching us how to believe for the thing that he told us is coming, that means that we have an opportunity to really commune with the Father to help our spirit and our heart to get purged of things that would otherwise block us from having faith, right? Like I know the Bible tells us that we only need a mustard sized seed faith, but what if we could have faith that was bigger, right? I don't want to just have the bare minimum of faith just because that's what the Bible tells us that we need. What if I could have grapefruit faith or soccer ball faith or whatever it is? I want to be able to have faith that is so much greater to prove to God that God, I trust you. You are the God that has governed me, loved me, fathered me, and been my everything for all of this time. Why would I think now that you would leave me or forsake me or lie to me? You have never been that kind of God, and you are not that kind of God. So I'm committed now. As you know, I get older, I look at things a lot differently, that it's not so much about a moment of arrival or a reward, because the reward is coming because I know I'm going to be obedient and I know I'm going to be faithful. But the beautiful part is the time that I get to spend with God for him to show me aspects of myself that might not need or be able to come with me to the next level. So I love the fact that God loves us that much that he would say, "Hey, daughter, I love you, but I don't believe that this part of you represents my nature. So I want to purge you of those things so that this doesn't become a hindrance in your next season, because I'm going to give you the thing that I promised you, but I don't want it to impede on anything that would otherwise allow it to multiply, or anything that would cause you to not be able to share with other people, or whatever it may be." I think about this time in the middle place as, to me, it is the most important and the most sacred place, because it's like when God, it's almost like you are in the midst of like just kind of resting in a pipeline where God tells you a secret on one end, and the other end is you get to actually acquire or obtain that secret. But in the middle, I'm going to talk to you about what it means to have that thing, what it means to keep that thing and nurture it, to govern it well, to steward it well, to make sure that you can take care of it. So in that middle place, it's such a sacred space and a sacred moment that we get to have with God, to spend with him, to commune with him, to soak with him. So I always encourage that we don't get so fixated on the moment of arrival that we forget the sacred place of soaking with God in the middle place. Even though I know many of us have been waiting for years, you may have been waiting for months, you may have been waiting for days for something that God promised you. But the fact of the matter is that if God spoke it, it's going to come to pass, right? If we be in alignment with the will of God for our lives. So I want to encourage you today that in the midst of knowing that you're almost there, because I know you can feel it, you feel it in your spirit, you feel it, you just feel like you're on the brink of something, or feeling like you're on the verge of birthing out your next greatest thing or whatever it is, but you can feel it in your spirit when you're on that threshold of what God promised you. So I just want to encourage you that in this in between place that you soak, because it really is the most valuable. Soak with the Father in a way that you have not been able to do before, because this is where you are truly built to maintain, to uphold, to sustain, and nurture whatever that blessing is going to be that He promised you in the first place. Everything that God gives you, He wants to give you, but He wants you to also be able to steward it well, because it's usually not a gift that is simply just for you. God has called us to be blessed that we might be a blessing. So I just wanted to pop on really, really quick to give you this reminder, this word, this encouragement, and this confirmation to let you know that you truly are almost there. And before 2024 even hits, God is going to give you that promise. You are going to see a gleam of hope and just evidence that has kept his word yet again. And you will not be able to say that God is a liar, because he is not. So the fact that you're feeling that you're almost there, you truly are almost there. So whatever you are believing for, keep believing, keep having faith, rest in that sacred middle place with the Father, because that's where the true value is. And just know that God is going to do what he said, because you are almost there. So I encourage you to keep holding on. And I thank you so much for joining me for this video. Please come back. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on my next video.